from paper 1 and paper 2, and what's your suggestion for the scheme of studying? Like, what are the topics that to be studied to get a better hold of the subject?
And two questions are there in what you have asked. One is how to interlink, you know? The second thing is
The scheme of studying.
scheme of studies, in what order we should study, is it that? I will talk about the second one first, the scheme. As in your class also I said to you that don't go in a chronological order. You are not supposed to start from chapter 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of. Whereas there can be best places from where one can start. Your batch we started with what? Theories we have started. Some batches we start with tribal studies, some batches we start with social system, etc. But what I find is, if one is starting with anthropological theory, that would be the best way of approaching the subject. I am sure when we were doing anthropological theory in the beginning, you might have got clueless initially, not knowing where we are going, or maybe occasionally thinking whether we are going in a right direction, whether the choice of the optional was right or not, kind of a thing. Because for most of you, I think in your class 2 people were there who studied anthropology, but I mean that's also a rarity. But then, so starting with anthropological theory gives you the best way of approaching the subject. You know what the thinkers have faced and how they have given the subject, and that is the way. Or there are other ways of doing. If you want to start on a lighter way of understanding, Indian society could be, but Indian society is something that is difficult to properly present, and you should have that interest in the so called Indian or Hinduism. So, you come from some other background, you are starting with Hindu, I am sure you would be, baffled and kind of. So, that is one. Best way of starting is to start with theory, which you can accommodate everywhere in the syllabus. The second thing that you have asked is how to interlink. See, as we have done in your course, whenever we are doing certain topics, say religion we have done, or archaeology we have done, or economic systems, wherever similar things are there, you try to study them together. That is the first way of interlinking. Second thing is the incorporation of theory in every topic that you are writing about. So, in every topic there is some kind of a theoretical perspective given by classical thinkers or otherwise. So, one is doing the similar things together across paper 1 and paper 2. So, that examples can be easily, content can easily flow from one paper to the other. Second thing is, in all the questions trying to incorporate anthropological theory, this is the other way of doing. And thirdly, when we are trying to answer, we have to try to see to it that maybe in small or big amount, there might be several contexts where we might have used. Say, when you are reading tribal health, some diseases we might have studied. That would be helpful in topics like health related studies, epidemiological studies. They look to be very random, very distant examples, but then you should have that knack when you are studying an ethnograph, from there you are pulling up a data and trying to put it as an example. So, that is the third level of incorporation. First two, I think they can be easily done.